Hello there, my friends. Welcome back to SoulTree Meditation. If you are new here, welcome. You can join me regularly for content regarding meditation, energy, manifestation, and the expansion of your consciousness. So in today's video, I am talking about healing and manifestation and how to balance the two to really bring into your reality what it is that you are trying to create. In the past, I have made a separate video about this, but basically healing and manifestation need to go together. They can be looked at as one in the same, as you are actually manifesting yourself into a more healed state overall in general. That healed state already exists. That version of you that is fully healed, that has fully let go of any blocks and cleared any sort of trauma and purged any denseness within you actually already exists on another frequency in another dimension. However, if you find yourself in a practice of manifestation and you are unable to call in what it is that you want, or you perhaps keep manifesting the same situations over and over for yourself, be that a lack situation in relationships or money, or you just feel stuck in some sort of way, it is usually because there is some underlying healing that needs to take place before you can actually match yourself up with what it is that you are trying to manifest. So most of us go about our day-to-day life very programmed, and we are unaware that we actually have a lot that we need to heal. Now, this doesn't apply to every single person, although for the majority of us, there are a lot of unconscious aspects of ourselves that are very wounded, usually coming from childhood, that we have yet to address and deal with. And you will notice these unhealed aspects of yourselves when you go into a manifestation practice and you are manifesting yourself into different loops, or you are manifesting the same person in different bodies. For example, if you're trying to manifest a relationship. And many of us are just simply very unaware that the practice of healing and the act of actually going into the shadow aspects of ourselves and allowing us to fully feel them are what is going to set us free. Now, this is definitely something that most people don't want to hear. However, I would really argue that this is one of the most important aspects of a manifestation practice, because without facing the wounds that we are carrying around, without really taking a good look at ourselves and what is going on with us internally, and taking a look at the way that we are affected by our past, is very difficult for us to move ourselves into a space of elevated frequency. So moving ourselves into a space where our actual really big manifestations exist, we will feel blocked in doing so if we are programmed in a way that prevents us from accessing that specific frequency. So I really like to encourage healing in general, not just because I work as a healer, but because I have actually experienced this myself. I am a person who suffers from abandonment trauma and a lot of betrayal and actually addiction in my past, which I had to go through and heal. I had to heal these aspects of myself in order to sort of allow myself to grow into the habits and lifestyle which I now possess. In the past, I have also dealt with clients in hypnotherapy who hold very, very deep wounding, very, very deep resentment, very, very deep pain, either from trauma or from something that happened in their childhood or past events. Sometimes this can also be passed on from past lives as well. So it's very important to keep these things in mind. And what I've noticed is that these clients carried these blockages within them that even prevented them from going any further in hypnotherapy, because we had to deal with the presenting issue. Now, Society really teaches us to mask or numb or not look deeper at our wounds. And actually, there is a much bigger reason for this, because when you do work with healing, when you do work with wounds and going into your pain and fully integrating the lessons that are there and allowing yourself to feel it on every level of your being, you are completely freed from it. You become freed from it. You become more powerful in your manifestation ability, because as a healed individual, you no longer have these things, whether they even sit unconscious, that are holding you back. So in general, we're kind of taught to either, suppress our feelings, and most of us do so with some sort of substance abuse or some sort of habit, okay? And this is actually considered to be very common in our society today. Most of us are taught that it is actually very shameful to feel your emotions, or shameful to look at them. And this combination of this damaging messages that were given from childhood really do not foster a healthy environment for us to fully, admit to our feelings and allow ourselves to feel them in a greater capacity. Feeling your feelings in a greater capacity is going to be what sets you free. It is going to be what allows you to blow off any sort of charge that you are carrying around from past frequencies, from harmful situations that you have carried with you. And it's going to allow you to reprogram your mind in a much easier way, and then access that new energetic level where your manifestations exist. In order to bring manifestations from the spirit world, from the thought realm into physical reality, we have to energetically match them. So we have to have an internal shift energetically. And when we are so bogged down and so wrapped up in the things that have happened in the past, we are unable to make that energetic shift. Now, unfortunately for most of us, because we have been trained as children to numb or suppress or ignore our feelings, most of us are not even aware that we are actually carrying around a lot of emotional baggage, so to say. We're not even aware that we have any healing to do or that we have any work to do, because most of this has been so repressed that it sits in the subconscious and unconscious aspects of our mind. However, it makes its way out into our physical life, usually in ways that we are blind to. So what I find happens is that when someone goes into a manifestation practice and they are trying to manifest something new, they may manifest elements of the past wounding that they actually have to clear. And the reason for this is actually very intelligent design. So you're always working with your higher self when you are manifesting, and your higher self has no other agenda for you but to expand and move forward with positivity. So you might manifest a situation for yourself that is very triggering. You might manifest a person that, looks like someone who used to abuse you in your past, or you might manifest the same situations on certain loops, because what it's actually doing is trying to show you that these aspects of you are unhealed. So you are actually carrying around a belief system or a trauma or some sort of blocked energy that is preventing you from moving on to the next frequency, if that makes any sense. So I always like to say that healing in general is extremely important when combined with a manifestation practice, because we need to do that healing first so that we are able to really bring into our life the higher levels of what it is that we are wanting at our core. And of course, as you go through your healing journey, you're going to turn into a different person. You're going to desire different things. You're going to want different things for yourself. You're going to transform in a much more positive way. So the best way to heal is to really allow yourself to look at your past and to feel anything that is coming up. During hypnotherapy, it is actually possible to take someone energetically through the past trauma or through the belief system or through something that has happened to them in their life. And it's actually very common to see that a lot of these energetic blocks actually resonate from past lives as well. And we carry these things over into this current life so that we are able to heal it, so that we are able to transcend it in this lifetime. So that is why it's very important to face the wounds, face the things that you are carrying around, and just allow yourself to go through this process with as much love for yourself as possible. And this is going to really set you on a much more positive trajectory when it comes to your manifestation practice, because now you're going to be energetically free. And once you sort of burn off all of those difficult feelings, all of those negative emotions, and allow yourself to move directly through the pain, you're going to be able to really call in some amazing manifestations for yourself. Now, don't get me wrong, you can very easily manifest without going through any sort of healing process. Everybody is individual, so it really depends on what you have faced as an individual in previous incarnations as well as this one, and the particular elements of creation that you are working with yourself. So if you are a person that doesn't suffer from any trauma, or you have already gone through a particular amount of healing work, you might be able to manifest things a lot quicker than somebody who does have all of these energetic blocks that they either haven't faced or that they are unaware of. I also do want to add the element of victim mentality as well, because this is also very common. So there needs to be a balance when it comes to healing ourselves in order to really move into the higher frequencies and allow ourselves to manifest the life of our dreams. We also have to balance that with victim mentality or lack thereof. So what can happen to a lot of people is, because of past traumas and because of unhealed hurts, they develop a victim mentality. And sometimes going through the healing journey can be so painful and so distressing that they take on a victim mentality, kind of saying, woe's me, or this is my trauma, or these are the things that have happened to me, or I am a victim of this and this, right? And what actually happens is that this stalls out progress. This stalls out a manifestation practice, and it is very, very common to do, and it is a very easy trap to fall into, okay? So while it is important to really go through the healing process and really be gentle with yourself about that, you also want to make sure that you are not taking it on. Do not take on the story and claim it as your own and beat the drum of that story, because what you're doing is you're not transcending the frequency. You're not actually learning from the hardships and from the trauma that you've been through. You are simply taking it on as an identity and perpetuating that. And energetically, that's very difficult to manifest your way out of, because you consistently have embedded in your self-concept that you are a victim to your childhood. You are a victim to your heartbreak. You are a victim to this person. You are a victim to your circumstances, right? And you can't manifest properly with a victim mentality. The two simply do not go together. It is simply because energy is at the core of everything. So we can take a look at the things that have happened to us and say, yes, that has happened, and this is what I learned from it, and now this is what I would like to create in the future, okay? Rather than continuing to, martyr yourself or beat the drum of the story of the things that have passed. And you really want to watch yourself. You really want to take a look at yourself, because it can be very easy to really take on a victim mentality, because in a sense it is comforting. It is like a security blanket. It is saying these things happened to me and now I must, be careful, or I must treat myself a certain way, and it's very low vibrational. So you're still hanging on to the old residue of the past rather than learning from what's happened and allowing yourself to move forward into a positive way. This also ties in with the idea of a self-concept. So really developing a strong self-concept and self-confidence about yourself is another key to manifestation. So being able to bring into the physical reality what you want really depends on how you think about yourself and how you talk about yourself. Because again, everything is energy. So if you are consistently talking about yourself as a victim of someone, or, bad things happened to me, or this happened to me in my past, and you continue to reiterate that story, you're going to see that you can't move very far. You're always giving yourself that limitation there, because embedded in your mind is a negative self-concept or a preoccupation with repeating the story of the challenges that have happened to you in the past, regardless of how intense or traumatizing they may have been. Eventually, you're going to have to be able to release that story so that you can forgive it and allow yourself to move forward into the future. And again, this is where the healing work takes place. And the more that you can allow yourself to kind of reinvent yourself and gain a positive self-concept, the easier it's going to be to move from your past and manifest into your future. So I would really like to say that while healing is important, there needs to be a healthy balance between getting stuck in that healing process and taking it on as an identity and labeling yourself as somebody who is healing or needs to be healing, rather than just allowing yourself to move forward. So there needs to be a healthy balance in order to properly manifest what it is that you're trying to bring into this reality. I would never suggest that anybody does not try to manifest anything as a result of feeling like they need to heal something, okay? We are all very, very powerful human beings. We can very easily bring into this reality what it is we want to experience, and we're seeing this happen more and more as the energy raises and as we go through this shift during ascension. However, I like to make this video because it is very helpful to see that there just needs to be some healing that needs to be done if you are having a hard time manifesting what it is that you are wanting, okay? So the self-healing is very, very important. And I always say that the best way to heal yourself is really to feel, really to allow yourself to feel every aspect of everything that has gone on, validate your feelings, and just allow yourself to really physically feel those feelings. Do not numb, do not suppress, and really just sort of surrender when any sort of pain comes up or anything that you are needing to feel, because the more that you're able to feel into your feelings, the faster you're going to progress through your healing journey, and the easier it's going to be for you in the future, okay? So just to recap, there needs to be a balance between healing and adopting a victim mentality in order to properly manifest, okay? So we want to spend time healing, but we don't want to make it our identity or take it on as a story, because it's going to prevent us from really shifting our energy into those higher frequencies and bringing in the life of your dreams, which you are more than capable of doing, okay? So I really hope that this video was helpful for you. I do offer one-on-one coaching and various manifestation courses, okay? So if you're interested in diving deeper into your own personal situations and you're looking for one-on-one help, you can feel free to look in the description box below. Everything is there to book with me, and you can feel free to check out my Manifestation Talks playlist, which is available here on YouTube for weekly free content regarding manifestation. Okay, so again, thank you so much for joining me again on the channel, and this is where I leave you. So I will see you again on the next video. Much love.